Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Megan and we're here for Bookmas Day 10. I apologize about the lighting. In Day 1 I talked about how I have been finding it really hard to fit in filming and editing with my rehearsal schedule, and we are currently in the middle of Tech Week. For those of you that aren't familiar with the term Tech Week, that is a theater term for the week leading up to opening night. So this Thursday is opening night, and all this week we are adding all of the tech to our show. So all the lighting, the costumes, the props, the set changes, anything that is on the back side as opposed to the performance side, we are adding into our performances. So the rehearsals go a lot longer. For example, yesterday was like a 6-hour rehearsal. I'm exhausted and I'm filming this in the early morning to try to get this done so that I can get it filmed and edited for Bookmas Day 10. So again, I apologize about the lighting, but that's not what you guys are here for. You are here for the Christmas traditions tag. This was a tag that I saw when I was looking up Bookmas ideas and I thought it was pretty cute. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first question is red, green, and gold, and these are the significantly well-known Christmas colors. For this you had to find a book with those colors on it. So I chose the Santa suit, which is also perfect for Christmas because it is a Christmas themed book. I read this, I believe, 2 years ago. I love it so much. It follows this woman. I think she gets divorced or something happens and she moves away from her hometown and starts a new life in this small town that she moves to. And when she is moving in, she finds this old Santa suit and she kind of goes through the village and on this mystery hunt to find out who the owner of the suit was, and it delves into the backstory of the town and each of its villagers and everything, and it's super cute. It's small town romance, it's mystery, not a mystery in the like murder mystery realm, but just like finding clues and figuring out something. And I just thought it was really cute and I highly recommend it for Christmas. Next is caroling, and this one was interesting and kind of a fun prompt. I think it'd be fun to include in a future game of TBR or something of that sort. But this, you had to take your favorite Christmas carol and then find a book where the title has a word from the title of the Christmas carol in it. So for example, if you did Have a Holly Jolly Christmas, you would have to find a book with the words Holly Jolly or Christmas in the title. My favorite Christmas carol, I don't know if it actually counts, is All I Want for Christmas Is You. It is the epitome of Christmas for me. I know it's Christmas time when I hear Mariah Carey, but my favorite traditional Christmas carol is probably It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. And for that I chose A Lot Like Adios. I overachieved. I found one with 3 words from the Christmas title in the book title. A lot like Christmas, a lot like adios. Very overachiever of me. Next is Christmas wreaths, Christmas trees, and evergreen foliage. And for this you have to pick a book with nature as a character, which I thought was an interesting prompt. I don't know if I know that many books with that element or trope added to it. For this I chose The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I actually just read this, and one of the main characters is a plant, like a sentient plant. So that's right there is nature as a character. There's also like spirit bears that come out of trees and various animal type characters. So definitely think that this fits that prompt. Next is sending cards. Let me know down below if you send cards for Christmas. I know I always receive them, but I've never really sent them before. And for this you had to pick a hold on, I'm gonna mess up this pronunciation. Epistolary. I keep wanting to say epistolary. That is not how you pronounce it. I haven't looked it up, but I'm just sure that's not how you pronounce it because I always put emphasis on the wrong syllable. Huh, get it? But I think it's epistolary. epistolar, I don't know. You get it. Well, I'm not sure if you get it because I didn't even know what this word was and I had to Google it. This is essentially a book made of letters, like letters that are written to people. I don't know if I've read a book like that other than the Bridgerton series, so that's what we're gonna go with. I just picked my favorite of the Bridgerton series I've read so far, which is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, Penelope and Colin's story. Next up is Mistletoe, or Unrequited Love, and I feel like the biggest one I can ever think of is Peeta just absolutely adoring Katniss from afar and her just kind of being ambivalent to it in The Hunger Games. This is actually the 10th anniversary edition, that's why it looks a little different, but I love both of them and that's the first one that I could think of for that trope. Next is Santa Claus, a character that is odd or perhaps frightening but still in an endearing way. I went the odd route and I'm going with David from Shadow and Bone, our material Nick, who is just kind of keeps to himself. Ginya's in love with him and I think that makes all of us in love with him in an endearing way. Next up is Nativities. I actually used to have a collection of Nativities and I would reenact the nativity story with my little figurines. I was an odd child but endearing. And for this you had to choose a historical fiction with a family basis. The first one that comes to mind is Little Women, but I also found this on my shelf. I have not read it yet, but it's called Daughters of Rome. So daughters, plural, there has to be siblings, there has to be a family, and it seems historical fiction, so we'll go with Daughters of Rome by Kate Quinn. Next is Elf on a Shelf, or a book that catches your eye a lot but you never seem to pick up. And that for me is Girl Serpent Thorn. I've had this on so many TBRs and I keep seeing it on my shelf and going, oh, I need to read that, and then I just never pick it up. So maybe this is a New Year's resolution for me to read this in January. Next is Christmas movies, which is to pick your favorite book adaptation or pick a book that you would love to see adapted. And I'm gonna do a little bit of both. So I think the best adaptation I've seen from like straight book to adaptation is probably Heartstopper, but Little Women holds a special place in my heart, and I really enjoyed the most recent adaptation because it kind of endears people to Amy, and I've always had this problem with people hating Amy because she's literally a child. Why are we hating on a child? Of course she's gonna be bratty. I did like getting a little bit more of Amy's perspective in the new movie, so I enjoyed that. And then a book I would love to see adapted, and I apologize to those of you who already know what's coming, but I would love to see Crown of Feathers adapted by Nikki Paparetto. However, I don't necessarily want this a live action. My heart of hearts just believes that the best adaptation that could happen for this would be a How to Train Your Dragon-esque adaptation. I just think that would be phenomenal and I'd love, love, love to see that. Next is Ugly Sweaters, or a book that made you laugh out loud. I think one of the only books that has ever made me like audibly laugh is Red, White, and Royal Blue, specifically for the turkey scene. Speaking of adaptations though, from the previous prompt, I still need to watch this movie. So really loved this one as well. Next up is Eggnog, a book that you love and everyone hates, or a book that you hate and everyone loves. For me, the Cruel Prince series is the perfect epitome of this prompt. I feel like everyone really loves that series and it's just not my favorite. I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's not my favorite. But what's funny is I really, really loved book 2, and that's everyone's least favorite in that series. So the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black, I'm just the opposite of everyone's feelings on that series. And last but not least is Gift Exchange, a book, ow, I think I just got a paper cut. Anyways, Gift Exchange, a book that you read this year and you just felt, oh, this would be perfect for blank. For me, that was The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. As soon as I finished it, I knew I was going to give it to my mom to read so we could discuss. She loves murder, mystery, thriller, kind of suspense novels, and I know she doesn't have a lot of time to read, so a standalone is great for her. So I definitely anticipate having my mom read this. So that is the Christmas traditions tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow I'm going over a book swap I conducted with my friend Marie over the course of 2024 and kind of reviewing how that went. And that is all for today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check you tomorrow. Bye friends.